In today's video, we're reviewing the Grand Hyatt Kauai. We'll do a room tour, look at the amenities, and also some benefits that we really like. Towards the end, we'll talk about how to book this in a strategic way if you want to save some money. Big favor before we dive in is to give this a thumbs up to help with the algorithm. It surprisingly does help, and if you are new, consider subscribing. Let's go. Okay, picked up lunch at the Fresh Express, which is by the airport. It's a poke place that's pretty famous. Let's give it a taste. It's good, but I think it might be a bit overhyped. To me, personally, it's not bad, but I think people made it seem like it was the best poke in the world. It's good, but I would not say best in the world. Like, it's a solid, strong 8 or a 9. It is a hole in the wall. I think it's well worth a stop if the wait isn't too long, if it's not like a 30-minute wait. They do also run out of items. We are near close, so that might be one thing too if you want only salmon or only specific items. There were pretty much only 3 or 4 items when we went. They're all pretty tasty though. I like it. I'm not a fan of the fact that they do charge additionally for toppings. I think we're used to a lot of poke places where that's just part of it for a lot of additional ones. But otherwise, I think worth the stop if you like poke. And it is a bit more of a mom and pop shop vibe though, and super cool ambiance. I got 3 items for sushi rice, and it came out to be about 15 bucks.
A few moments later.
Okay, just finished lunch, and I think I stand by my rating. Strong 8, weak 9. Would definitely recommend it though, and portions are pretty good, pretty tasty, very fresh. Awesome choice.
Would it be a 9 if they gave you free toppings?
Yeah, it probably would be a 9. Maybe if they gave me full access to all the toppings, I think it would be a 10.
It's $7.99 per pound. How heavy are your toppings?
I guess maybe I should have paid extra for the toppings. Good poke though. Yeah. Gonna head to the hotel and see you there. Welcome in. First, let's check out the view. That's beautiful. This is the deluxe ocean view room. Let's take a look inside. We did end up booking the base room using points and also a category 1 to 7 certificate, and got upgraded to this room with the ocean view. If we didn't have globalist status or any Hyatt status, then we'd be facing the parking lot. Right off the bat, I'm pretty surprised by how big the room is, and so much so that they even have a pull-out couch if you have a player 3. I'm gonna move this and take a look. It's okay. Would I sleep here? I probably would not. But if I was a teenager and I was like, oh, it's either going to Hawaii or not going to Hawaii, then this is perfect. Give it a try.
Oh, there's barely any cushion on here. I can feel the springs. I mean, the benefit is there's not that many springs. It's kind of like a foamy one.
Okay, back to the tour. We got 2 beds. Main reason is just more room to sprawl out, more pillows, more comfortable. Oh, that's pretty cool. So the lights automatically turn on when you pull it out. Oh, that's really smart. Also like this, they didn't have to do anything, but they actually, the little touches are nice. Design-wise, I don't know, I think that's cool. Pretty big TV over here, coffee station, light, temperature, water bottles that you can use on the property and also keep afterwards. They're refillable just because it is pretty hot outside. Down here is a mini fridge. Over here is going to be a closet, some robes, and then a safe over here. Manual open bidet, so V1. That's still pretty cool. Still nice to have. Double vanity, pretty simple bathroom area. I feel like they could have done a bit more. That's fine. Base bar is from Anara Spa, which is the spa on property. Same thing with the shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. Coconut mango. Yeah, they're all coconut mango flavored, or scented, not flavored. Shower over here. But yeah, pretty straightforward for the most part. I do like that they have real lays. Over here is going to be a work area or desk that you can use, and they have a bunch of stuff for us. So we got this as a welcome champagne when we checked in, and it's ice cold. Awesome. Also ended up getting 2 chilled glasses. That's from the check-in desk for our anniversary. The rest of the items are because we have globalist. Hawaiian chips, island macadamia and popcorn crunch, some trail mix, Hawaiian Host chocolate, which is also macadamian, and more dry roasted macadamia nuts. Lastly is a bottle of cab. Also, in addition, when you check in, you do end up getting a lei. I don't know why they gave me this one. Everyone else has the one Mandy does. Looks pretty good. And actually fits my vibe pretty well. So I like it. The rest are the standard ones, which are a lot more festive. Over here are some plugs and also wireless charging. That's pretty awesome if you want to charge your phone. Apparently, if you're not a guest and you want to use the pool, it's about $200 per day, which is pretty aggressive exclusive. If you are a guest, you're going to get a wristband, key thing, and this works for the room and also to access all the other amenities. This is the main thing for them to know that you're a guest and not a random person sneaking on the property using their $200 per day pool. Yeah, I think he's at 24/7, saltwater lagoon and everything, gym. It makes sense why it might be expensive.
If Hawaii is on your list, this is one of the best use of Hyatt points. You're usually going to get 2 to 4 cents per point, depending when you go, retail, and what you would pay. For example, when we went, retail was $1,500 per night, and we would have been more than happy to pay $750 per night. Instead, we booked the same date and the same room type for 35,000 Hyatt points. Your mileage may vary, but more than worthwhile to me. Reminder that you can transfer Chase points to Hyatt with cards like the Chase Sapphire Preferred and Reserve. So this could also be 35,000 Chase points that might only be worth $350 if you redeem them as a statement credit. Obviously, it depends on your priorities, but I'd happily pay effectively $350 for a night in paradise. On that note, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website asksebby.com and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise it's a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance.
So first off, this is a gigantic property and has a lot of rooms. They mentioned that some of the rooms might take you 5 to 10 minutes to walk to from the main lobby, which is in the middle. So yeah, definitely huge. The main areas they mentioned to check out were going to be the pools, which are pretty famous, the Grand Club, where we have access because of Globalist, and also the spa. In addition to that, there are a lot of activities. So most days have between about 12, if not more. Pretty much depends on the day and what you want to do, whether that's Pilates, guided tours, photography, tons and tons of things to do. Beyond the other activity list, there's another one, I think specifically for the pool area, which tells you how much there is going on. Since we are using points, there's free valet and also free parking, which is nice. If you're Globalist, there's a bunch of other perks as well. 15% off the spa boutique, 20% off lunch at Ilium Terrace. Main thing for us is the Grand Club lounge access, valet parking, waived resort fees, and upgrade the best room, including standard suite, which we didn't get this time, but that's fine. If you didn't have Globalist status, you do have to pay a resort fee, and it's $55 per day. The resort fee covers self-parking, welcome lay, 2 complimentary reusable waters per day, a bunch of other things. Yeah, pretty much all the other amenities on the property.
One of the interesting things about the Grand Hyatt is the design. It blends a lot of elements of traditional Hawaiian architecture with an open-air layout. You see this in the lobby and main areas, but also even pathways to the rooms.
So for pools, you have a bunch of different options. You have the saltwater lagoon down here. You have a main area that pretty much anyone can go to, kids, adults, whatever. And then up top, you have the adults-only area. Throughout this whole property, there's also 3 jacuzzis in the different areas, so lots of options. Our favorite one is probably the one in the main area that's on an island that you have to swim to. The pool is 24/7, which is a nice touch. There are no lifeguards though, so be careful, don't drown. In terms of the water over here, they don't have any canoes or kayaks or anything you can borrow. And the main reason is because the water is pretty rough. So I would say it's mostly for surfing more than anything. I would not leave your kids out there if they're not strong swimmers. So you do see a few people out there, and yeah, they're kind of waiting for the waves, or their heads bobbing along, but yeah. So this is fine, but be more careful. If you are looking for a bit of a safer place, especially for little ones, then I'd probably go down towards the Sheraton, towards the main area. There's a whole beach there with a lifeguard and everything, which is just more protected, less strong waves, everything is a lot safer. Also tons of seating, so you're not really fighting anyone like you might see on some other resorts. And the thing too is that occupancy here is pretty high right now, about 95 to 99%. It's big enough that it doesn't feel crowded. Also, apparently, if you are visiting from another property and you want a day pass to the pool, then some people have been offered the right to buy it for $200 per person per day. So pretty nice pool, pretty nice amenities. And sometimes if it's busy, they actually won't even sell it to you. So I think if you're here and you enjoy the water, then this is an amazing opportunity. On the beach by the property, there are going to be a bunch of animals that call this area home. So for example, Hawaiian monk seals, which are endangered, live on the beach and nap here, have time here. This is their home. So with that said, oftentimes they will go out to eat and then come back here to take a nap or sleep. They pick their spot and that's their spot. And then they set up stuff around it to make sure that people don't step too close or go near them. So for example, here's one back here and they put little logs and caution signs to warn you to be careful. Same thing with turtles that rest here and then afterwards they go into the water. So for example, you don't really want to enter this area because it's going to negatively affect them. But yeah, super cool for into animals and seeing nature.
The Grand Club Lounge here is interesting. On one hand, it's not the prettiest, especially if you compare it to some in cities, but it offers great value. There's also a ton of meals here throughout the day. Breakfast is from 6:30 to 10 a.m.
For breakfast, you have the same coffee and drink station that you normally see on the right-hand side. In the middle, you're going to see a lot of different items. So fruit, and today it's pineapple, but obviously they can change it out. There's also smoked salmon, all the garnishes for the smoked salmon, some cold cuts including turkey, also a ton of veggies depending on what you're looking for. On one side of it is going to be toast and a lot of other breakfast items if you want to make some bread. They also have croissants, and this is a mango Danish. This is my third plate. I'll show you my first two, but pretty tasty overall. Let's try the mango Danish. It's okay. Danish is better than the croissant. In the first two plates, miso soup was pretty good. Also really like the pineapples. Scrambled eggs weren't really the best. I probably wouldn't get those again. But sausages were really good, and I'm doubling up now. Mandy is having a good time as well, and also working on a cappuccino. The lounge did empty out a bit, so a lot quieter now than before. So it just depends on when you come. There can be a lot of families and people running around, but that's fine.
Afternoon snacks from noon to 4 p.m. Cocktails and hors d'oeuvres from 5 to 7 p.m. And desserts from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Outside of these specific windows, you can go in anytime during the main lounge hours of 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. to grab drinks like soda, coffee, and sparkling water. If you're staying by the hotel and enjoying the pool, this can save you a ton on soft drinks. You can get access by booking a room that includes club access. Alternatively, this is where status is helpful. Hyatt Globalist status gets complimentary access, so that's an easy win on our end. If you have Explorist, you can use a Club Lounge Upgrade Award. The food is just okay, generally a solid 7 or 8. Space is solid though, and staff is super friendly, so well worth a stop. It's also pretty convenient, located between the lobby and the main pool area. Again, vibe-wise, I think there are nicer and more grand ones, but this works for Hawaii and makes a ton of sense.
Okay, just sat down at Tidepools and about to order. They came with bread, and this is the first time I've ever seen ube bread. So it's purple because it's taro, and let's give it a taste. It's not bad, pretty subtle. Could use a bit more butter for me.
That's what I thought too. I was like expecting like a tub of butter next to it.
It's butter brushed, but I think it could use a little bit more butter, but it's good. All right, appetizers are here. Let's give them a try. First up is the scallops. These are huge. A lot of other places end up giving you kind of like half. So they'll take a whole scallop, cut it in half, and then say it's like 2 pieces. Not the case here. Let's cut it open. Perfectly cooked, and flavor-wise, it's pretty unique. There's a hint of sweetness to it, which I don't think we've ever had with scallops. Let me dip it back in the sauce again because it's like really tasty. Sweetness, umami, this is very tasty. The breading also is unique. I think we just don't have it like this normally. Next up is the crab cake. I like that it's all full of crab and it's not a lot of other filler. I feel like a lot of other crab cakes we've had in the past. You know there's crab, but like a lot of it, you don't really know what it is. This is super tasty. I think if I had to pick one of them, I would go with the scallop. This seemed more unique to me, and the flavors are just more there. Crab cake's fine, but I feel like you could probably find something similar elsewhere, so not as unique, but still good. All right, main is here. I have the ahi tuna, and it looks pretty good. It's a giant, pretty much ahi steak with risotto beneath it and a bunch of veggies on top of it. Okay, let's cut into this. I ordered it raw, which is what they recommended. Let's give it a taste. Super well seasoned, like really good flavors. It's pretty much like an umami bomb. I like that it's not overcooked because I feel like you can overcook it pretty easily and then it gets too dry. This is like perfectly flaky. Outside crust, inside is raw, delicious. Like super good seasoning. Kind of a Hawaiian salt, pepper mix on outside. Let's try the risotto. Pretty good. Gonna try Mandy's as well. A lot of different items on top. So you have a prawn here, lobster tail, fish, veggies. Yeah, tons of stuff going on. Let's give everything a taste. Giant prawn first. Pretty good, unique flavors. I don't think I've had like that before. I think maybe 15 seconds or 30 seconds overdone, but still good. Let's try the lobster. It looks amazing, super juicy and delicate. Perfectly cooked, amazing lobster. Yeah, delicious. Next up, we have the fish. So you can see that it is pretty meaty. Might be a different texture than you're used to. It is swordfish. Let's give it a taste. That's amazing. There's a bounciness to it. It's kind of like a umami gummy bear of sorts, but obviously a bit less bouncy. But yeah, super delicious. Would highly recommend it if it is the special of the day. Next is the scallop. Pretty easy cut. Let's give it a taste. Perfectly cooked. Yeah, awesome scallop. Not much else to add to it. I feel like we've made some pretty good scallops at home that are about this level. Maybe a few notches down because we're not at that level, but yeah, super tasty. There also are a ton of vegetables here. Ube. I'm a fan. I think Mandy doesn't like ube, so I'm probably going to be eating it. Yeah, tasty. Overall, super tasty. Given a similar price point, I would probably go with the Hawaiian fish, given that you have so many other items as well. And it just tastes so good. I feel like that's one of their signatures where they like nail it down pretty much all the time. And yeah, you have so much variety. I would go for that one. First one wasn't bad though. You can nitpick a few things obviously across the board, but I would say everything's been pretty much an 8 or 9 out of 10.
For lunch, we went to Puka Dog for hot dogs. Initially, it started as a small stand back in 2000, moved to Poipu Village in 2002, and relocated to Poipu Beach Park in 2020. As you can tell by the line on a random weekday, it's pretty popular. From back here, it's about an hour wait, so be prepared. They're known for Puka style, which is a hole-in-the-bun approach to hot dogs. The main benefit is that it encases the ingredients within the bread, keeping it all together and making it easier to eat on the go. This also distributes the sauces better, which makes each bite tasty. The hot dogs are served in a toasted bun with a choice of sauces. It was also featured in shows like No Reservations by Anthony Bourdain.
So for the Puka Dogs, you can order either a Polish sausage or veggie dog. We're going to end up doing 4 Polish sausages. You can pick mild, spicy, hot, or lava, and you pick your relish. One of the most popular ones are going to be the Kauai Special, the mango relish. I'm probably going to do banana and coconut just to mix it up. Or actually, I'm going to do the Poly Sunset and the coconut. What do you got to do?
Mango and pineapple.
Just got the dogs. Let's try them out. This is pineapple mayo. Pretty subtle flavors, bit of sweetness to it. It's good. Not too strong, so if you're looking for something lighter, then this is the pick. Next up is the mango. Mango's okay. Not really too much flavor there. Moving on, we have the papaya. This one has a lot of flavor to it, pretty good kick. Next up is the coconut. You might notice that there's already bites out of them because one of us already did their filming already. The coconut reminds me of that Asian custardy coconut bun. That's really good. It's like the savoriness, but also sweetness. Last but not least, we have banana. Pretty mild flavors. I think if I had to rank them, number 1 would be the coconut. That's just super unique. It's amazing. I like the mix of sweetness and savoriness, and yeah, tasty. Number 2 is the papaya, which has a pretty good kick to it and very tasty. The mango and pineapple were about the same to me. Weren't really worth writing home about. I think it's good, but it was fine. Last on the list would be the banana. Just didn't really jump out at me. But yeah, the first 2, the ones I guess I picked, I really liked. Overall, pretty good. I think if you're in the area, might as well get it. If there's a long line, maybe come back another day or at a different time. I think for us, 20 to 30 minutes is pretty reasonable wait. 1 hour is a bit much, but depends on you. I would also opt for the spicier versions because I like spicy and they tasted a lot better to me and more unique, but depends on you there. They also did have lemonade. Freshly squeezed, pretty good.
Kauai is known as the Garden Isle and has a ton of outdoor activities you can enjoy. We only did a few of them given timing, but let us know what we should check off the list next time we visit. Let's take a look at 5 of the top 10 activities. Funny enough, we actually did the first one right after landing, before we even headed over to the hotel. One of the most popular activities is to take a helicopter or plane tour of the island and see it from above. Key things being the valleys, waterfalls, and the Nepali coast. You actually get to see a lot of the other destinations and highlights here as well. For example, you get a great view of Waimea Canyon and its red cliffs. This is known as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. Most people drive here for the lookout point, but you can also hike it or do a lower level helicopter tour as well. I'm going to count it for our purpose, but depends on you obviously. Another top option is exploring the Nepali coast. So we saw this from the plane, but also explored from the sea, which is definitely a different vibe. If you're more adventurous, you can hike or kayak this. For us, we opted for a boat tour. Even with boats, there's 2 options and we took the bigger, more sturdy boat. If you get seasick, this is probably the better move given how rough the other boats are. They take you along the coast and point out sea cliffs, beaches, and beautiful valleys. Outside of the landscape, sea caves are the big highlight, the biggest of which is an open ceiling one that you can really only access by water. From the bottom, it doesn't even look like a cave. From the air, it looks like someone poked a hole in the mountain. Also on this tour, we got to see baby dolphins, which hang out along the path. We didn't get to swim with them or anything, but still just beautiful to see them in the wild. They were surprisingly adorable and cute. Towards the end, there's snorkeling. Not too much here, but did run into a turtle, and that was pretty cool. Otherwise, pretty much a lunch break point with water access. If you do get seasick, I would take Dramamine or something similar, otherwise you're not going to have a good time. On the way back, we stopped at number 4, the Kauai Coffee Company.
Next up is the Kauai Coffee Company. This is the largest coffee estate in the US and of course Hawaii, and there's a lot going on here. It is a self-guided tour, there's a museum component, there's taste testing, there's also a shop to buy food if you want more food, and a gift shop towards the front. If you wonder why I like coffee, one big reason is this. So 5 diseases coffee prevents: Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancer, type 2 diabetes, and depression. Number 5 for me is the most important one. Instant human, just add coffee. Take life 1 cup at a time. In case of emergency, great blast. This is the mid-section where there's coffee tasting and also kind of a restaurant cafe area. Let's try a cup. Thank you. So I pretty much tried all of them. The banana one is the most unique to me. It smells like banana, as you'd expect. Guys, smell it. I think that might be the one we end up picking up for a souvenir. We're gonna walk in and Mandy's gonna actually harvest some coffee. The sun can be pretty harsh and it can be a pretty hot walk, so make sure to have a hat ideally. I don't have one, but you probably should bring one. It takes this tree 1 whole year to make 1 pound of coffee. This tiny little tree here. Thank you.
How many trees would you own?
I think we would own a lot of trees. If you are curious about flavored coffees like pumpkin or banana, it's not that they're mixing things, it's more that they're adding natural oils for flavor. Kind of knew that in the back of my head, but I wasn't 100% sure, so that's good to learn. There are a bunch of different types of coffees grown on the farm, including yellow Katua, red Katua, Mundo Novo, Tapico, and Blue Mountain. From my understanding, Blue Mountain is their bestseller and the fan favorite. Had some earlier, pretty good. One common myth among coffee enthusiasts is that if you're not using the coffee beans, you should put them in the freezer in order to pretty much maintain their flavor and everything. Apparently that's not the case. So not really ideal, you ruin it, don't do it, keep it in your pantry. This place has over 4 million coffee trees grown on 3,100 acres. Kauai Coffee Company is Hawaii's largest coffee roaster and thus the largest coffee grower in the whole US. They also are a true Hawaiian coffee estate, so from growing the coffee itself to roasting it and packaging. They also do a lot of sustainability stuff throughout the whole process. The 5th part of the walking tour is a nursery and orchards, pretty much where they take care of the newborns and grow them. The entire estate is run on hydroelectricity derived from the rainfall. In case you're wondering how they process everything, it is all done in tech rather than manual. The coffee harvester machine is currently gone on duty. They work from September to December, so I guess he's on vacation. This is a mini version of a coffee processor, so they take the cherries, they can pretty much figure out which ones can be used, and they can process 500,000 pounds of cherries per day. The next step is drying and quality control. So they pretty much lay them out, let them dry off, and it takes about 24 to 36 hours. After drying, the coffee is milled, graded, and inspected by the State of Hawaiian Department of Agriculture. Once everything's certified, good to start roasting. One cool thing is that they do work with the University of Hawaii and do a bunch of research. The idea being that they want to make the future cups of coffee even tastier and better.
If you want to keep it simple, you can enjoy Poipu Beach Park, which is pretty much the stretch of hotels near the Grand Hyatt. Lots of water activities here as well, like snorkeling, swimming, or surfing. This is also a great spot to learn to surf given the tame waves. If you're a pro, probably a skip since there are more advanced areas. It's probably about an hour to walk along the coast with hotels alongside it. Reminder, beaches in Hawaii are all public. None of these are private to the hotels. Super beautiful, but I definitely got my shoulders burnt to a crisp, even though I aggressively applied sunscreen. In case you wonder why I wear a rash guard, it's mostly because I burn easily.
Overall, we had a great stay, and I definitely would recommend this property. I think it is more geared towards families or people that want a more mellow trip. If you're looking for something super romantic, this can work, but it definitely might not be the perfect option. So for example, if you don't want any kids around at all, then you might want to avoid this property. If I had to guess, about 33 to maybe 50% of occupants are families. The awesome property, great service, and the fact that you get pretty good value for points, to me makes it a no-brainer if you want to visit.
Again, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website, asksebby.com, and also down below in the description box.
If you made it to this point, leave a surfing emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. My question for you is, what are your thoughts on the property? Have you been here? And would you visit? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favorite, thumbs up, consider subscribing, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.